Crush on a girl, like I ran the race for that. I had a crush on a girl who I went to school with. I had another crush on a girl who I went to college with. You know, I had a crush on my camp counselor.
Wine and free it up, wine and free it up, free it up, wine and free it up, wine and free it up, every beat I live.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, TheKyannaSimonee, and I am back on your screen, which means I'm back with another video. Yes, I am still nasally, so if I still sound funny to y'all, that's why. As you can tell by today's title, I am going to talk to you about the struggles I have with my sexuality, and I asked you guys on Instagram if I should do a coming out story or me struggling with my sexuality, and you guys said struggling with my sexuality, so that's what I'm going to do today. Subscribe to my channel, turn on those post notifications, and leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have struggled with your sexuality. And if you haven't struggled with your sexuality, let me know how that process was for you, like how easy it was when you realized like you like the person of the same gender, sex. Alright, let's start right into the video. Alright, so let's just start by saying that I, like looking back on my life now, I realized I was really interested in women at the age of 14. And I didn't know what it was at the time, right? I didn't understand if it was me just like liking to be around my friends or calling these people friends, or me wanting to be like them, idolizing them. I didn't understand what any of that was back then when I was 14 and, you know, growing. But now that I can look back on that life and look back on that time, it's like, oh yeah, like I really like this person. I knew I was interested in women when I was 14, but not when I was 14, okay? And during that time, I would really like to be on top of women who I found intriguing or interesting, or somebody who I wanted to get close to. So I knew that, you know, when I had a crush on my camp counselor, I figured that out, but that was when I was like 15 or so. When I was maybe in school, I had a crush on like a girl, or maybe I wanted to be around another girl or things like that. And it was like kind of making sense, but not kind of making sense. So I kind of sat with it and sat with it and sat with it and didn't say much of anything about it. Then as I got older, 15, 16, 17, and realized that those feelings of me wanting to be around other people, or me wanting to be around girls and stuff like that, was actually me liking them and actually me crushing on them and actually me probably like wanting to be in like a relationship with them, but not like anything real, just kind of like, oh, like let's be a couple and hold hands, but like that's about it, because I didn't really know what it was to be with a girl, what it was to be with a woman at that time. And at this time like of like self-discovery, I also had a boyfriend. So keep in mind me trying to navigate, you know, my sexuality, but also having a boyfriend, like it was weird. When I got older, probably about, I'm gonna say 2021, I absolutely realized that I was into women. And I absolutely realized that I wanted something more from women, but wasn't necessarily sexual. So struggling with me in a relationship, but also me wanting to be in a relationship with women, but not really wanting to be sexual with women or anything like that, was weird. Because usually when people like want to be in a relationship with people, they want everything that comes with that, you know, support, you know, sex, whatever that may be. You usually want the whole package from that person. And me finding myself, I didn't want the whole package from these people. I just wanted a relationship that was probably kissing. That was the most I'll probably do, maybe like touching boobs or something like that, but that was it. Like I wasn't doing anything else other than kissing and touching boobs, because at the age of 20 and 21, I didn't know what it meant to be in a relationship with a girl. Like I didn't understand it at all. There was this girl I was crushing on in college, and I really, really liked her. I don't even know if she knows that I liked her, but I really, really liked her, and I really kind of wanted to be with her, but like, I don't think it was gonna work out regardless, because I was just too scared, and I didn't know she liked girls, and I was in a relationship, whatever. But after 21, and this after I broke up with my boyfriend, I had to kind of sit down and think about what I wanted. I had to think about if I was gonna go back into men, or if I was gonna start like exploring ladies. And as I had this like 5-year like hiatus gap of like not dating, not purposely, it just kind of happened that way, because I really just don't date anybody, honestly. Within that time frame, I had to ask myself, like, are you gonna go back to men, or are you gonna go back to women? And I kind of thought about it, and I said, okay, I want to try dating women, right? So during that 5-year gap, I struggled a lot, simply because on the one hand, I did want to kind of come out and be like, hey, I kind of like girls, like this is where it's going. But on the other hand, I didn't know how to do that. So when people who were like out, or when people who I hung out with would talk about like gay stuff and talk about girls, I would kind of push it aside, like no, like I'm not into that, because I didn't know how to say I was into that and I wanted to do that, or I wanted to be there and stuff like that. I didn't know how to internally or externally say, hey, I'm here, and you know, I'm kind of testing the waters. Like I was kind of like, oh, get that, you know, that gay stuff away from me. Like I'm not, whatever. I don't care if you're gay, but like I'm not gay. In this 5-year gap, I had those feelings, but then I don't know what the exact turnaround was, and I think maybe I had to sit down and think about who I was crushing on. I had to look at that. I had to look at who I like ideally wanted to be with, who I kept talking about, who I kept idolizing, you know, things of that nature. Just looking at my patterns and looking at my history when it came to crushes, and looking at my past when it came to people who I liked. And I realized a lot of them were women, and a lot of them were, even if it was like celebrity crushes, you know, we all have our celebrity crushes, right? But I would look at my celebrity crushes and just be like, wow, all of these are women. Like Jillian Michaels, Sukanya Christian, Peter Murgatroyd. Like I had women upon women upon women upon women upon women, and no men. Like I don't crush on men at all. Another thing I had to look at was women who were in front of me, like everyday, you know, non-celebrities who I was crushing on. You know, I had a crush on a girl, like I ran the race for that. I had a crush on a girl who I went to school with. I had another crush on a girl who I went to college with. You know, I had a crush on my camp counselor, and these were all women. So I really had to sit down and analyze that, like, yo, you like women more than you're leading on, and you have to find a way to navigate that. You have to find a way to be comfortable with yourself and saying that you like women and you are going to be doing this. And when I mean doing this, I mean like, you know, dating women and being on the scene, like being out. That didn't happen until I dated my ex. And when I was scared. It's me dating my ex, I was really scared because she was a woman, obviously, and I never came out to anybody saying that I am gay or I'm lesbian or whatever. It was kind of like, I have a girlfriend. It was just normal. Like I have a girlfriend, same when you have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend. But to navigate that space without really telling anybody I have a girlfriend, you know, it was weird. It was hard. And even being in that relationship in the beginning, it was hard because I was so used to going outside and being with men and, you know, people being like, oh yeah, well that's her boyfriend. Clearly I didn't know how to navigate that comfortably with my girlfriend in the beginning. And if that didn't show, that didn't show. But internally I was really struggling with that, having to have a girlfriend and be like, oh yeah, like that's my girlfriend. Like, oh yeah, that's not a boy, that's a girl. So it was something of that magnitude and something that really kind of like shook me internally, because it was like, yo, like I really have a girlfriend right now, and I really loved it. I really enjoyed that relationship, no matter how it ended, no matter what terms we on now. Like that relationship put me here, you know, to say like, yeah, I do date women. And another thing within that relationship was just me trying to label myself and trying to figure out, well, how do I fall under the LGBTQ umbrella? Well, how do I fall under that? You know, first of all, you have to label yourself in the umbrella, and then you have to label yourself again if you're like a femme, a stud, an AG, this. I struggle with that because I never had to do that when I wasn't dating women. So I felt like I had to do that since I was now dating a woman. So because I felt like I had to do that since I was dating a woman, I was like, oh my God, I felt so much pressure in myself. Like nobody pressured me at all, okay? Nobody pressured me at all to say, you must label yourself. I was pressuring myself saying like, I'm the label because everybody else has a label. I tried to like label myself as lesbian and it didn't stick. It really didn't stick. Then it tried to go into like soft stud and whatever. And that didn't stick either. Like it just didn't feel comfortable. So I kind of like let it slide and let it go. I tried to like put it in my Instagram bio and like let it slide, let it go, because things like that weren't sticking. And even if when I had like the word lesbian in my Instagram bio, like it was always in the back of my mind, like, yo, I got that shit like blaring out there. Like it's sirens out there. Like, you know, like, is that what you really want to portray? Is that really you? Not portray like it's bad, but just saying like, is that what you want to bring out to the world? Is that how you want the world to see you? Like, boom, lesbian, just like that off the bat. I had to think about it. I was like, no. And not because I have any hatred towards the word. So if it sounds like that, that's not the case. It was because I feel like, as I keep saying all the time, I embody everything and I embody nothing in the same breath. Be just lesbian and not anything else was restricting to me, you know, to be just like soft stud and not anything else, restricting to me. And I didn't want to be restricted, especially when it came to something that I have control over, which was how I portray myself and how people see me. And I didn't want people to be like, oh, that is a lesbian and that's it. No, I want people to be like, oh, that's a human who happens to date ladies. Even when I was telling my mother, oh, I have a girlfriend, I came out saying I have a girlfriend. I didn't come out saying, oh, I'm lesbian, oh, I'm gay or whatever. I came out saying I have a girlfriend simply because I had a girlfriend, and that's who she was, just a human to me, and that was it. All of this to say, with sexuality, it's not easy because sexuality is fluid. Struggling with sexuality is normal, I think, in my eyes. And I've seen people come out one way and through time, they are now something totally different, you know? And I think we don't have to put these pressures on us with labels and stuff like that if you don't want to. There are people that are out here that are so comfortable being labeled as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, blah, 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 blah. There are so many people comfortable with that, and I think because people are comfortable with that, I wanted to be comfortable with that. But then I had to look at myself like, I'm not these people, okay? I live my life differently. I was raised differently. I was brought up differently. You know, I navigate this world differently. I feel differently. I love differently than all these people. So why am I trying to fit in with all these people? I am me. I'm a woman that dates ladies, and that's about it. So when I came to that point in my life, it was like the best thing in the world because it's like, yo, I am nothing and I'm everything. Like, I am just here loving my sexuality of being like fluid and however it turns out to be, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, if I want to date this person, I'm gonna date this person. I'm gonna date that person, I'm gonna date that person with no restraints and with no constrictions. Like, that's just it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on those post notifications. Don't forget to leave a comment section down below if you struggle with your sexuality, or if you don't struggle with your sexuality, let me know. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias at TheKyannaSimonee. It's right here in this little bar, TheKyannaSimonee. Don't forget to leave a comment again in the comment section down below what videos you want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.